Hi everyone, come with me as I go to South Africa for a Google event. So Google recently launched a new cloud region in Africa, South Africa to be precise, and I got invited to attend their launch event. So this was me on my way to do some self-care. My flight was in a couple of hours, so I spent some time trying to look good for my trip. Decided to get lash extensions done because you can never go wrong with lash extensions, and you can see how I was already starting to look really beautiful. Next stop was to get my hair done, and I was already running out of time. I eventually found a place and decided to install a wig because it's been a while. I got some ice cream before we started because I was already feeling really hot. The hair was coming along really nicely. By the way, hot combs scare me so badly. Like, I always fear I'm going to get burnt. Eventually, I was done with the hair and I looked so beautiful. Now it was time to head home because I had this virtual event I was speaking at, and immediately after I had to pack for my flight. By the way, I was so hungry. I literally devoured this shawarma I got on my way back. I later on changed and spoke at the event, which was basically an intro to Google Cloud. Then immediately after, I packed and headed straight to the airport. It was quite rainy and was headed to the airport around 9 p.m. and my flight was the next day around 1 a.m. Finally got to the airport, and you know the procedures, having to go get your boarding pass and go through all those annoying checks before you go wait for your flight. This was me here, all done with the checks, and I had to wait a couple of hours until it was time for me to board my flight. I was already so exhausted considering the fact that I was kind of moving helter-skelter the previous day and had barely rested. Couldn't wait to get on that flight. After a couple of hours, I transited at Ethiopia, where I had to board my connecting flight to Johannesburg. Due to delays, I was already running out of time and I had barely an hour to board. Eventually boarded and we took off to SA. This was such a long flight and just couldn't wait to arrive. Finally arrived SA, and this is where the fun began. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for part 2 where you get to see all what went down in South Africa.